Can you say spring is in the air? During the mid-1800s, this is where this parade ground before you guys, this is where soldiers drilled. So that's pretty cool. This is the commissary, one of the city's most iconic landmarks. It's the oldest building in Fort Smith. Over the years, it served, many functions. Barracks for troops, federal court offices, private residence, museum. Pretty cool. I constantly get amazed how these old buildings stand the test of time. The construction quality, nothing that's built today can last as long as these old buildings. And ironically, they're tearing down a lot of these old buildings in different cities throughout the country to put up the new stuff. Here's the view, guys, of the inside of the commissary. Very awesome. So you have like a private residence on one side, and a supply depot on the other. Again, they're just showing the many functions that this building had. Gary's gonna like Arkansas. Beautiful Fort Smith in Arkansas, the natural state. Beautiful sunny day. This is where the officers' quarters used to be. It's not anymore, but it was a huge building with brick pillars. You could see the footings. Pretty cool. Guys, in this building is where, after the Civil War, the meeting of nations occurred. You have to remember that the Native Americans fought on both sides of the war, but at this point after the war, they were treated as defeated enemies. So tribes were told that their rights had to be forfeited, slaves must be freed, and property confiscated. That went down in this building, right here. So here's the gallows, guys. I guess this part of Arkansas handled a lot of number of murder and rape cases. So the law mandated the death penalty in Fort Smith. That meant hanging on this unsightly gallows. Judge Isaac C. Parker sentenced 160 people to hang, 4 women, and he stated, "I do not desire to hang you men. It is the law." That's how it went. This building served as the barracks, the courthouse, and the jail. This is the original entrance to the fort with the original stones, though the original wall was 12 feet high, 2 feet thick. According to this landmark, I'm standing on the side of Indian territory. Let's go down to the river. Here's the Arkansas River, guys. Just like any other river. But you got to remember the rivers were used before railroads for transport of goods, people, and a lot of times the river levels were not consistent, which proposed lots of problems. Look at that, guys. How beautiful. Guys, you got to read this. Wow, that's powerful stuff. It's not that I'm proclaiming to be a Native American sympathizer, but honestly, like, can you imagine being forced out of your ancestral land? I mean, that's harsh, man. Spring is in the air. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee.